Alright, I'm here, chat. Sorry it took a little bit longer, my number 1 turned into a number 2. Hope everyone is doing well. Hi Strategic, welcome in. How's your day today? I love this perspective. This is the deck right here. You have a dilemma? Ooh. Please do tell. The classic pink sleeves that are like kind of beaten down, but they're working perfectly fine for stuff like this. Hell yeah. This is a Zoroark deck. So I will not talk about Zoroark first and foremost. I will definitely say that. Zoroark is not the first card I'm going to talk about. But you guys will see what the deck does in due time. But I'm noticing the camera's skewed. Better? If I move over to playmat. Yeah, I think that's fine. Ooh, okay. What is your dilemma, Strategic? Please do tell me. Before I start with this, because the deck is a little complicated. And unfortunately, it does require Gen 6 and Gen 5 cards. So you can't fully play this on TCG Live. I'm very sorry. You're considering getting some games on your Switch soon, and you want to take advantage of the Switch online vouchers they give you. 2 games for 80. You're planning to get 4 games for 160. These 4 games are Zelda Breath of the Wild, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Pokemon Legends ZA, and 1 other game. Should this other game be Pokemon Shield? You've played Sword, but you want to play Shield? Or a different game like Metroid Dread or something? Honestly, that is like entirely up to you, of course, at the end of the day. I will say that the difference between Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield is like kind of minimal. The biggest difference you'll see is that some gyms are like have like different leaders, but the layout of the gyms are exactly the same. Of course, there's also version exclusives and stuff, but honestly, I don't, like if you've already played Pokemon Sword and you want to play Pokemon Shield, there's not really a rush on it, I would say. You can also play it like 5 years down the line, and your experience would probably be very similar. So I would honestly say go for Metroid Dread. Or another game, for sure. Make sure you hydrate, by the way, chat. Very important to drink some water or some tea or some whatever. Just drink anything at this point. It's been a hecking long day for me, so we'll see how well I will do at this piloting. No promises will be made. The most important card of this deck specifically is Naganadel-GX. For Brilliant Diamond, though, you hear that's ass. I must say, as someone who doesn't dislike any Pokemon games, that I do like Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl the least among all the Switch games for Pokemon. The mainline Switch games, I should say. So, like, I'm not counting stuff like Cafe Remix or Unite or stuff. I did play Zorobox on live and gave you the list, but this list is better because it's black and white on rather than Sun and Moon on, of course. The Zorobox list on live is honestly pretty good. I don't think it's optimal, but it is a fun list for sure. And the idea of the list is very similar, I would say. I would say the idea of the list is very similar, and honestly, the live list that I send you could probably be improved by text that I've also included here, because not every tech that is different from the live list is exclusively Black-White era or XY era. So take notes, chat. Take notes, because this list is kinda crazy. There's a lot of Pokemon in this list, I'll tell you that. First and foremost, let's talk about Naganadel. Naganadel is a stage 1 Pokemon, 2 prizer. It all doesn't matter. The only thing that matters on this is its GX attack. Stinger GX for 3 colorless energy makes both players shuffle their prize cards into their deck, and then both players put the top 3 cards of their deck down as their prizes. So effectively, it doesn't matter how many prizes both players are on. If you use that attack, you set both players to 3 prizes. I love that emote. So the entire idea is to put our opponent in a checkmate situation where we're both put to 3 prizes, and then I can find a route to win that way. Of course, you might be saying like, hey Noah, that's 3 colors energy. That's a lot of energy. I wouldn't say so, because we have ignition energy. Like, yes, I did make this deck with triple acceleration energy to begin with, but that's because I made the deck before Black Bolt White Flare was out. And ignition energy is a straight upgrade from triple acceleration energy. Ignition energy gives 3 colorless energy to a Pokemon if it's an evolution Pokemon. Otherwise, it just gives 1 colorless energy, and at the end of the turn, it gets discarded. If it's attached to a Pokemon, it gets discarded at the end of turn, of course. Not if it's in your hand. So, with just 1 ignition energy, we can trigger the Naganadel attack pretty easily. And the idea for the combo after the Naganadel attack, where we're putting both players to 3 prizes, is a little combo called Peonia Jirachi Prism Star. This is also very similar from the live list. Because Jirachi Prism Star has an ability, Wish Upon a Star, that says that if I take this Pokemon as a face down prize card during my turn, and my bench isn't full, I get to, before I put it in my hand, I may put it on my bench and take 1 more prize card. So this means, if we use Peonia to put Jirachi exactly in the prizes where we know, that means we need, after the Stinger GX, we only need to take 2 prizes rather than 3, as long as we have a bench space available. So that's kind of the idea of this entire checkmate. Taking 2 prizes is a lot harder, or a lot easier than taking 3 prizes, so that's the entire reason behind that combo. And the way we're gonna be trying to take the prizes is very silly. It's incredibly silly, I love it. Do you guys remember Technical Machine Crisis Punch? A Technical Machine Crisis Punch is a TM that you can attach to your Pokemon, and if you have 1 prize card remaining, if your opponent has exactly 1 prize card remaining, you get to use Crisis Punch for 3 colorless energy, ignition energy, for 280 damage. So if you put both players to 3 prizes, and your opponent KOs Naganadel-GX right after, you get to use Technical Machine Crisis Punch to attack for 280, potentially doing 280 twice because of this Excadrill with a Mega Barrage, which allows you to attack twice during your turn. You have to do both attacks at the end of your turn, but if you attach that Crisis Punch to the Excadrill, then you're going boom, boom, boom. And the reason we're using Excadrill specifically and not Bunnelby is because Ignition only works on evolution Pokemon, so that's why we're using Excadrill specifically. The rest of the text does not matter on Excadrill. Holy fuck, Noah, stop cooking! Oh, whoops, sorry. I knocked over my camera almost. You remember, has flashbacks to Mellow at AEX Tonk. Oh yeah, that also uses Crisis Punch. Yeah, Crisis Punch is kind of crazy, isn't it? But then you might be saying, hey Noah, what if my opponent is only going to take 1 prize card after you Stinger GX? Then there are 2 prizes. Is that maybe a problem? Not really, because we also have Dusclops to give our opponent a prize. So we can put our opponent at 1 prize still after the Stinger GX. If we want to, we can even, if they don't want to take a prize, we can also just Dusclops twice in the same turn. Use this Dusclops twice in the same turn? Yes, we can. I will explain to you later how, because we haven't shown the Zoroark yet. Zoroark basically knocks itself out to do 5 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. But these are these are like 3 different stage 1 Pokemon, as you can see. How the heck are we gonna get these in play easily? And honestly, it is fairly easy with this Zoroark from Evolving Skies, which we run 3 copies of. Zoroark from Evolving Skies has the ability Phantom Transformation, which says once during your turn you may choose a stage 1 Pokemon except any Zoroark from your discard pile, and if you do, you discard this Pokemon and all attached cards and put the chosen Pokemon in its place. So if we have a Zoroark somewhere, we can just delete it to grab any stage 1 from our discard pile to put it in its place. This is why I said it's possible to get multiple Dusclopses in 1 turn. If we have like multiple Zoroarks set up here, we could do Phantom Transformation, Dusclops, Phantom Transformation, Dusclops to give our opponent 2 prizes and still be able to trigger our Crisis Punch effect. So we run 3 copies of this Zoroark alongside 4 copies of a random 70 HP Zorua. I went for the one from Skies, because why not? It doesn't really matter. You can use the one from Black Bolt White Flare. That one is fine as well. You're ideally never attacking with this, of course. Ideally, you're like literally never attacking with this. Hold on. Why is there a bright light here? Is it because of my lighting here? Yeah, that's a lot more legible. Fuck it up, get Pokemon Violet. You also can do that, or you can wait. Or you can wait and get Pokemon Pokopia. The reason we're running a 4-tree line, by the way, is because we're also running 2 copies of Zoroark-GX. Some of you might get like some Vietnam flashbacks from this, but Zoroark-GX has practically the same abilities as Zoroark EX in Standard right now. It trades. You can discard a card from your hand and draw 2 cards. So you can use this to discard your Stage 1 Pokemon and draw more cards, because you want your Stage 1s to be in the discards. They announced the next gen. Have they? Pokemon Pokopia is like an Animal Crossing Pokemon game. And that's going to come out next year, that's why I said it. Did they announce next gen, or did you think that Pokemon Pokopia was the next gen? I'm a little confused. Oh, okay. It seems that you thought that I... No, they haven't revealed Gen 10 yet. They're probably going to do that on Pokemon Day, likely, which is going to be in February. You thought it was next gen, you're bad. You're good, don't worry. It's just a silly little like Animal Crossing Stardew-like game with Pokemon themed specifically. So... No, you're good. And because, actually, I'll talk a little bit more about Zoroark-GX, because it also has the Attack Riotous Beating, which can do 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. This is a Skyfield deck, so we can actually do decent damage with this. And if we want to do decent damage with this, if we want to take prizes, for example, I also have 1 copy of Double Colorless Energy, just in case. Just in case it's necessary, you know? Felt like pretty alright. Ow. Shit. I have my thumb against the table. Hold on. I'm gonna make a little bit more room here, so that I can give the Zorua and the Zoroarks room to breathe here. Anyway, Zoroark-GX is an excellent draw engine because we're already running 4 Zorua. And we also run 1 copy of Ditto Prism Star, which has an ability that allows it to put any Stage 1 on top of it as evolution, just to help us set up more Stage 1s if we do need to at some point. It's just kind of like our 5th Zorua, so to say. The more you think about it, the more you want to get Shield. Well, then get Shield. And then get Shield. You're good. Doesn't really matter, right? Alright. So, of course, this is a combo and a half. You need a lot of cards for this. And the way we get all of these cards is by using what we call Double Lele. Yes, this one is German, I don't care. Tapu Lele-GX has the ability Wonder Tag that if we play this from our hands onto the bench, we get the Searcher deck for a supporter card, so kind of like Lumineon V. And the supporter cards are gonna help us set up like really well in this list specifically. And this is kind of like where we get to the Gen 5, Gen 6 parts, because most of the supporters that we play in this deck are from the Gen 5, Gen 6 era, because they're just specifically so good for this deck in particular. It does because your brother said he wanted to lend Sword back to you, and of course you've already played it, so yeah, I gotcha. Let's see. So the setup supporters that we have for this deck is 1 copy of Brigitte, which allows us to search our deck for 1 basic Pokemon capital EX, or 3 basic Pokemon that are not capital EX. I don't think I run any capital EX Pokemon in this deck specifically, so this just always grabs us 3 basic Pokemon, which is really nice, especially if we need to set up widely, because there's a lot of basic Pokemon that can help us draw in this list as well. We have 1 copy of Colress that allows us to shuffle our hands into our deck and then draw a number of cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon in play. Once again, like I said, I'm going to show later, this is a Skyfield deck. So yeah, Skyfield. It is. It's kind of funny that Brigette is actually kind of outclassed in Eternal. Because there's a supporter from Heart Gold Soul Silver era, which is Pokemon Collector, which just searches your deck for 3 basic Pokemon. It's like slightly better than Brigette. So like in the case if you're grabbing capital EX Pokemon, you should probably play Pokemon Collector. But in any other way, Brigette is like fine as well. You're building Regirox. You're building Regibox with me right now. Let's go. Hell yeah. We also have N, of course. I don't think I need to explain this one, but this is this shuffles our hand into our deck and allows us to draw cards for each prize we have remaining. We're most likely not going to take any prizes before using the Stinger GX, so this is most likely either going to draw us 6 or 3 cards. But also hand drops our opponent in case we need it. And also teammates, as you can see, 3 of these 4 supporters are literally all of these supporters are actually Gen 6 era or Gen 5 era, as you can see. Like for N you can sub in Iono, so that's like whatever. But teammates is a supporter we can only play when our Pokemon was knocked out during our opponent's last turn, and it searches our deck for up to 2 cards and puts them in our hands. So yeah, as you can see, these 4 supporters are like kind of hyper-specific to this list. These are not the only supporters that we run, but these are our consistency supporters that help us, just allow us to set up our combo more efficiently. So I did mention that from Brigette, we have a lot of basic Pokemon in this deck, and that is true. So I'll show them one by one, and I'll only explain about the ones that are not in literally every expanded deck. So Crobat V does not need an explanation, I think. Neither does Dedenne-GX. I think I'm also not going to explain Serendipity EX, especially since we're a deck that tries to slow setup. And Oricorio-GX has an ability that is identical to Serendipity EX's, other than having a different name, so you can use both in the same turn if you want to. And then I will talk about this next cards, because this you don't see in every deck. Zacian V. Yes, I actually own a Zacian V. Zacian V has the ability Intrepid Sword. If you use its ability, you get to draw 3 cards at the end of your turn. And yes, if among those 3 are Metal Energy, then you get to attach them, but I don't run Metal Energy in this deck, so it's just, it ends our turn, but it's kind of like Rotom V, but better, because this has more HP than Rotom V. So that's why we run this one specifically. 41 of 60 card build for Lugia V-Star and Expanded. Slay. Talking about V-Stars, we got a certain couple here that you might have not seen in a very long time. But usually the go-to V-Star power for this list is going to be Arceus V-Star. Arceus V-Star has the V-Star power Starbirth, which allows us to search our deck for 2 cards, so it's a double 4 Sealstone. We have the room in this deck to do this, so I figured why not. There is a 4 Sealstone in this deck, which I'll show later, in case like the Arceus V or the Arceus V-Star is prized. But holding on to this specific power until after the Stinger GX is usually so powerful that we can usually set up our combo almost immediately after the Stinger GX to win the next turn. So this is why we have Arceus V and Arceus V-Star, a 1-1 line in the deck, specifically. Yeah. You can probably think of a replacement for this. If you want to just go the 4 Sealstone route, you can definitely delete Arceus V and Arceus V-Star. But I figured, since 2 cards is like, it's like double 1, and we definitely do have the bench space in this list specifically, just kind of forcing our opponent to gust our Arceus V-Star after we Stinger GX, to gust KO it, to put themselves at exactly 1 prize, which is kind of what we want. It's kind of like baiting our opponent down a specific line that we want to go down, if that makes any sense. Because even after they KO that, we still have a 4 Sealstone if we need a specific piece. That's kind of like the idea that this V-Star line is doing. It's baiting our opponent down a certain line. And like I said, this is a Skyfield deck. We're running 3 copies of Skyfield, which allows us to bench up to 8 Pokemon. Which is a lot of Pokemon. A lot more than 5, actually. So we run 3 copies of that. So for our Ball Search, we were running also not a normal amount of Ball Search. It's definitely an interesting set. I definitely overcooked this one, but hey, tell me where I can improve this deck. We run 3 copies of Quick Ball to search our deck for a basic Pokemon and put it in our hands at the cost of discarding a card from our hand. helps us with one of the stage 1s that we need. A quick note about the stage 1 thing. We unfortunately cannot put Arceus VSTAR in play with a Zoroark because it's a VSTAR Pokemon. It says it has a VSTAR stage, not a stage 1 stage. We can, however, put a Zoroark-GX in play with Phantom transformations because it says accept any Zoroark, but this has the name Zoroark-GX. So that's something that I just wanted to clear up. If you see me do anything weird, it's because of those 2 specific rulings, in case you're wondering. Because that's like a ruling that not a lot of people know. But yeah, we don't have Slowbro, but we don't need Slowbro. We don't need a Slowbro, right? Like, wait, hold on. Is Slowbro not just better than the Excadrill combo? I'm trying to think. I thought this was better. But I think Slowbro might actually be better than the Excadrill Technical Machine combo. I think Slowbro is better, actually. Yeah, I think Slowbro is better. Hold on. Oopsie. Yeah. No, Slowbro is better. You're actually so right. There's actually no reason for me to use this Excadrill with Technical Machine Crisis. You're so right. Well, I guess technically Excadrill with Technical Crisis Punch can technically take 3 prizes without needing Jirachi. So we can go down that line. But I think a better version of this deck would include both Excadrill and Slowbro. I think both of them. Not entirely sure though. I would say Slowbro is like probably like on average better, but Excadrill is more flexible, if that makes sense. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Anyway, we also run 2 Pokemon Communication because we have a lot of different Pokemon in this deck. Pokemon Communication reveals Pokemon from our hands, puts it in our deck, and then allows us to grab a different Pokemon. Also, wow. Rip that light. Since there's also a lot of GX Pokemon in this list specifically, you've been naughty. You still haven't scheduled. Oh no, Stegic! Naughty, naughty boy. You're on the naughty list now. No Christmas present for you. Joking. We also have 1 copy of Cherish Ball because we have a lot of GX Pokemon in this deck. Most of which are actually kind of important for us, like the Naganadel-GX, the Zoroark-GX, Oricorio-GX, Lele-GX, and another card that I will show you guys in a second. But to finish out our ball search, I also have 1 copy of Ultra Ball just because it's fairly flexible and I wanted to play Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is just a good card. For our supporter recovery, we got 3 VS Seeker. This is, I don't think, a surprise. We always run little support count and then lots of VS Seeker to help us replay our supporters by choice. We also run 1 copy of Battle Compressor to help us discard other cards from our deck that we haven't found yet. Specifically the Stage 1 Pokemon that we are looking for. 1 copy of Forest Hillstone, like I mentioned earlier, with the Arceus VSTAR bait. And this is the interesting tech part, because like I said, there's a lot of GX Pokemon in this list, right? Especially like the main combo setter, main draw engine, another main draw engine, and more main draw engine stuff. That's why we run Persian-GX in this list. Yes, you didn't see this one coming, did you? The Persian-GX is the ability Catwalk, which says, once during your turn before your attack, if one of your Pokemon GX or Pokemon capital EX were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may search your deck for 2 cards and put them into your hands. Really good. This technically also has 2 usable attacks, but I don't think I would. I don't think I want to use them. Technically, we could use like Vengeance, which would do like at maximum 190 damage. That's kind of mid, fortunately, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We are also running a 1/1 line of Marowak. This is the Cubone from Journey Together. It's just the best Cubone. This is recent. But the Marowak has the ability Bodyguard, which prevents all offensive attacks done to you or your hand by your opponent's Pokemon. Remove any existing effects. So this protects us from, specifically, what does this protect us again from? I kind of forgot. Hold on. I think. Yeah, so this prevents us from getting item locked. That's what I mean. This prevents us from getting Badu item locked. No, it prevents all effects of attacks done to me or my hands by our opponent's Pokemon. And it removes any existing effects. So this prevents us from getting item locked by Badu, specifically. Which is really fucking annoying, getting item locked. Yes, you can technically run this without the Cubone, but I figured I want this with the Cubone just because items are such an important part of finding the stuff that we need with this deck specifically. Like, all our items are basically the search that we need to set our combo up, specifically. And these are not all the items, by the way. There's more items, but... Yes, Marowak is a little bit of a weird tech inclusion, but I've included it because it is a stage 1 Pokemon that you can grab with Zoroark. Specifically. Another stage 1 Pokemon that's pretty good is the best bench protector in the format. It's Machoke! Machoke has Daunting Poses ability, which prevents all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. And your opponent's attacks and abilities can't put damage counters on your bench Pokemon. This prevents your bench from Munkidori as well, for example. Or any other crazy abilities. Like Frostlash stuff. I'm only thinking of standard stuff, but there's more. Bro's playing 28. There's a lot of Pokemon in this deck. Are there more Pokemon in this deck? I don't think so. No, this was the last Pokemon. This was the last Pokemon. To get for ourselves another out to Badu, we have Pokémon Ranger. This can technically also be a 1-1 line if we want to like prevent our hand from being Ionoed away. But Pokémon Ranger is also here to prevent ourselves from Badu or anything of the sorts. I just realized another reason we have Marowak here is because we would otherwise hard lose to Trevenant and Dusknoir-GX. We would literally hard lose to that deck because that deck removes cards from our hand every single turn. And we literally cannot play the game. And Trevnoir is actually like a top 20 archetype technically, so technically it's just there for that. And also for Badu. Badu is a fairly common card in Expanded, actually, as a one-off. Now, for our recovery count, we are running 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher. I don't think this is a surprise, because there's a lot of Pokemon in this deck. For retreating, for mobility, we have 1 copy of Floatstone. We also have 1 copy of Guzma, which is also our Gust in this deck, together with our 1 copy of Countercatcher. And then there's 2 more cards left in the deck, which are mostly removal based. This is to remove stuff like Stealthy Hood, or what was the most relevant one? There was a, I don't recall exactly what the tool was, but something like, I think Big Parasol. What was it? I don't even recall anymore at this point. Oh, no, it's for Garbodor stuff. That's why I put it in. It's for Garbodor stuff. Field Blower, to remove 2 tools and or stadiums from the field. Also helps us against Chaotic Swell. And we have Megaton Blower, of course, to ruin Lugia's day, which it discards all tools and special energy from all your opponent's Pokemon and discards the stadium in play. This is the entire 60. It is in the YouTube description, if you're wondering. I know this is like almost not screenshotable. I am very sorry for that. There's a lot of 1-0s in this deck. I do like making decks with lots of 1-0s, but this is... You have 3 of those Field Blower promos. Let's go, slay. I only have this one, fortunately. I only own 1 Field Blower, and it's this one. You need to get Megaton Blower. Yeah, Megaton Blower is a pretty good card. Not gonna lie, Megaton Blower is a kind of a good card. Stuck up all our Pokemon, and all our other cards, of course, and see how this deck functions. I will say to you, this deck is actually pretty good. Am I a good pilot of this deck? I don't know. I genuinely do not know. We do need both our GX and our V-Star marker for this game, though. We are going to use both of them. And we, of course, have our ability markers in case we need them, and our damage dice. For poison and burn markers are probably not going to be that relevant. So I'll move most of this off camera. Before it rotates in 2027 and the prices skyrockets. I don't think the prices will skyrocket. If anything, I think it will be lower in 2027. Honestly, unless we go into a meta with a lot of special energy. We did, like, a lot of the top decks do actually use special energy. At least a few. The only one that doesn't do it is Guardy. But like a lot of decks these days are running Mist Energy, Luminous Energy and Neo Upper Energy are fairly common. I think those are like the most relevant ones. Although Luminous is gonna rotate soon. And so is Mist Energy. Luminous and Mist Energy are both gonna rotate. That's actually crazy, I didn't realize that. Oh my god, Mist Energy is gonna rotate, that's gonna suck against... Oh no! Whatever will I do against Monkey Dory now? I really hope that they reprint Mist Energy, or give us a tool that does the same as Mist Energy. That would also be nice. I love this song. Alright, let's flip heads or tails to see if we go first or second. I'll say heads is first and tails is second. Let me give you a good roll. That rolled off the table, great. That's heads, so we go first. Let's draw our opening 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. Sorry. I am so sorry. Will you ever forgive me? Alright. Starting Oricorio is not the worst thing in the world. I'll take that. Tree. And another tree. On the prizes. Our opponent also on 6 prizes. Flip over, and I did say going first, so let's go for that. We do start Quick Ball, Ultra Ball. This is actually not a bad start. Definitely go for the Floatstone here. Let's think. I'll definitely Ultra Ball away the double colorless energy and the Persian-GX. I want a price check because I don't. Why is GGN 50? I don't know, man. It's so expensive. I won't forgive you, end stream. No. Oh, look, Jirachi is already in the prizes, but it's gonna get out of the prizes after I Stinger GX, probably. Which is annoying. For Sealstone being here is fine. Megaton Blower being here is kind of mid, just like Brigette. But we do have like a decent opener here, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Not the worst thing in the world. I think I will grab stage 1 that I want to discard with this and then Quick Ball. Pull that away. Pending. Although my setup isn't that great. I think I might just go grab 2 Zorua from this. Oh, maybe actually... Yeah, no, hold on. What I'll do is I'll grab Excadrill from this. And then I'll Quick Ball away the Excadrill to grab Crobat V. I think that's a great idea. So he gets a little bit more draw. Before we get more draw. We also have the Dedenne in hand, that's why I was spinning my hand down specifically. Alright. This all goes to discards. I will put Persian and Excadrill here just in case. We can't play these yet, so let's go for a Dark Acid to draw 4 cards. 2, 4. Get search your deck for another supporter to discard with this. That's fine, I think. Let's go for the Wonder Tag. What's a supporter I want access to later? Not Guzma. Maybe Colress. Probably not N. I'll take Peonia from this. I think that's fine. Does mean that we do need VS Seeker at this point, but no VS Seeker is priced. And that means that all three of them are in deck, specifically. We are going first, so Field Blower doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, that means that we have to play our Dedenne now. I guess I can attach my Ignition Energy, but it's not going to do anything. So let's use Dedenne's Dead Change. Discard these cards. Draw 6. You wish you got the GGN tin back in 2019 with the Mewtwo tin. No 13-year-old me said, nah, I get the worst one. Lucario Metal GX, because you had a shit metal deck back in the day. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, we do get Ditto Prism Star, which is not bad. Nice. Although I'm tempted to just push up the Ditto Prism Star, because we have a lot of 2-pricers in play right now. It's probably fine. I'll also bench Vesnipity. I think fine. Then let's retreat into the Dedenne and pass our first turn. Assuming the worst thing, Dedenne gets knocked out. Assuming the worst. Let's push Oricorio again and draw a card for turn. Counter Catcher is definitely a good play here. I'm not sure what the Counter Catcher yet, but that's because I don't know what my opponent's board state's looking like. I can ready a Dusclops here from the Ditto, which I think I will do. That's pretty nice. Tapu Lele will only grab me specifically Pokémon Ranger, which is not something I need right now. So I think I'll use VS Seeker to get Teammates. Idea. I think that's a decent idea. VS Seeker for Teammates is definitely good. So what do we want after Teammates? We definitely want Skyfields. And we want something that gets multiple basic Pokemon. Ideally. Or we just get Zacian. We want a Quick Ball instead of the Pokemon itself. Not really. Kind of want to grab the Pokemon itself here. Not gonna shuffle, of course, yet, because I do want to fin more. We have Skyfield now, so it means we can bench Zacian V and Tapu Lele-GX again. So we can search our deck for another supporter. Do we just grab Ranger here? I think I'll grab Colress, actually. The reason I want to fin so much is because we have literally 6 cards to draw here from Dense Attributes and Flip the Script. This is kind of usually what the early game looks like, that with very little Zoroark in play. Ideally, you have more Zoroark in play, but in general, you really just want to fin your deck out as much as you can for now. Let's go for Dense Attribute to draw 1, 2, 3. That's not bad. Battle Compressor will help us, for sure. What do I want to Battle Compressor? Probably the Pokemon Ranger, we don't really need it at this point. Second Skyfield can go, or the third one technically. And Machoke can go as well. Yeah, the rest is pretty useful. So we'll discard these 3 cards from Battle Compressor. There we go. So Machoke is also here. I don't think there's any other stage 1s in my discards for now. Not, well, there's Zoroark is, but we benched the Zorua. We benched the Arceus VSTAR. Just gonna bench flood ourselves. I don't really care with that. And now, so flip the script for 1, 2, 3. Hey, That is pretty sick. Some more Pokemon for us. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end my turn by using... actually, hold on. Do I want to retreat into something? I'll retreat into Tapu Lele. And I'll end my turn using Intrepid Sword. There we go. Well, of course. It would be very logical if Tapu Lele got knocked out here to put us down at 2 prizes. Let's just push Oricorio again. Draw a card for turn. We kind of have to make this into a Zoroark. And making this Arceus V-STAR is definitely not bad either. Let's think about what else we want. We definitely want another Zorua. We haven't found Naganadel yet. Why did I not discard Naganadel? Wait, why did I not discard Naganadel with my... Yeah. Discarded like a Skyfield or something? Yeah, that's way worse than a Naganadel. Dude. I'm spitting. I know I'm reversing a decision that I made earlier, but... It's very stupid to not grab Naganadel off of the Battle Compressor. I thought it was already discarded. So... Let's play... Pokémon Communication to Zoroark-GX into my deck and grab Zorua. God, I love this song. I think it's best if I play Chorus before anything else, so let's do that. Shuffle my hand into my deck, then draw cards equal to at least 8. We have 8 Pokemon on the bench. But then the question becomes, how many does my opponent have? Let's just say, let's be pessimistic and say my opponent has 2 basic Pokemon. So we will draw 10 cards. There we go. Let's see what cards we drew. Cool. They're all kind of useless, if I'm to be honest. Kinda do want to fin more here. So I'll use Pokémon Communication to move Marowak back into my deck. Grab Zoroark-GX. And then quick ball away the Zoroark-GX to get the Cubone. This is just to fin my deck. Kinda want to manipulate what cards can potentially get back into the prizes. That's mainly what I want to do. Yeah, so these go to discard, Cubone goes to hand. I have 2 more Zorua here that I can't really use. Zoroark-GX I can't really use. We still have, of course, Oricorio open. We got the Ignition Energy, that's important. Still have Serendipity open, of course. 1, 3. We got another Ignition Energy, awesome. Now we just put down that Zorua, so we can't actually make that a Zoroark yet, but that's fine. I did that with intent. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna retreat into Zoroark. Zoroark, I don't really know. I don't really care, to be honest. We're gonna use Phantom Transformation to transform this into Naganadel-GX. Gonna attach an Ignition Energy to Naganadel-GX. And I'm gonna use Stinger GX, shuffle my prizes into my deck, and then prize my top 3 cards. There we go. Also, I'm putting my opponent at 2 prizes, or 3, sorry. And that's my turn. Ignition energy gets discarded end of turn. So, what is worst case scenario here? I think worst case scenario is them KOing my Zorua, which I can't really do anything about. Is there anything that is also worst case scenario that I can do something about? Other than Dusclops, not really. Let's just say Arceus VSTAR was KO'd, for example, or 1, and then we push Oricorio-GX there. Okay. How many cards are in my deck? There's 5. Okay, wait. I can draw all of these with my dances. 3. Oh, nice. 4 Steel Stone. I'll attach that for sure. Fez. 1, 2. Okay, so Radiant Jirachi is still in the prizes. That's fine, though. That's fine. Because we can kind of manipulate that. Because we can VS Seeker for Peonia. Here is Peonia. We can play Peonia to put these 3 prizes into our hands. And put 3 prizes back. Doesn't really matter what we put back. Let's say we put this here, and Jirachi here. Then we evolve Zorua into Zoroark. I don't even need the 4 Steel Stone, which is really funny. We use Phantom Transformation. Turn this into Excadrill. We attach Ignition Energy to Excadrill. We attach Horizon Sponge to Excadrill. And now you might be saying, hey Noah, what if you had a full bench here? I can show you what we would do if we had a full bench here. What we can do is we can Megaton Blower our own Skyfield away, which would discard, let's say, the Naganadel-GX and the Tapu Lele-GX, putting me at 5 bench, and then I will just replay the Skyfield from my hand, and now I have bench space. So let's say my 2 Crisis Punches get prize cards. I think that's fairly reasonable. We grab these 2 prizes. Hey, look! Wish upon a star. Use that to draw another prize. That's the game! That is a GG Zers. Of course, like I said, this can very well go wrong, because in that late game I did only have 1 Zorua bench, and if they were to go after that, I would need to develop another Zorua that specific turn. Same goes for if they would go after the Dusclops. I would still have to develop another Zorua, putting them at 2 prizes, which is a little bit more scary. So ideally, you rip the Stinger GX after you have a better setup than that. Ideally. So what I could have done is pop the Dusclops before the Stinger GX and then bench a Zorua there before transitioning there. I think that's actually a better play. I think that is a better play, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's a way better play. Holy shit, Dusclops is actually so good with this list. It's crazy. The 1 copy of Dusclops actually can kind of carry. So, as you've noticed, this list is fairly complicated to play. And as you've noticed, again, I have made several misplays. Please take me for granted here. If you see ways on how you can play this deck better, please, please do tell me. Because I know that this deck has more potential than I can show here. For sure. Yeah, please include Slowbro in this list if you can. You can probably cut the Cubone for Slowbro. But... or like the Marowak, I don't really know. Like the Marowak is just there for funsies. Pokémon Ranger is probably something that you can consider cutting. But ideally, you have a turn 1 Brigitte to set everything up for you. Talking about turn 1, let's see if we go first or second. That is tails, which means we will go second this game. So let's draw ourselves 7 prizes. There we go. Bam. There's a Lairon in chat. Oh my god, there's a Lairon in chat. Oh, there is a basic Pokemon here. It's a Zorua. I was about to say this hand has no basics, but it does. And 6 prizes, all there for you to not see. Let's start the game by going second. Draw a card for turn. Now we draw another Zorua. That's actually not bad. Decent setup for sure. Let's bench this other Zorua. I hate that my proxies are like not aligned sometimes. You can see the energies behind them. But it is what it is. So we have Battle Compressor, which is really nice. This is definitely gonna have to be ripped. This also allows us to price check, so let's just price check manually. Both Guzma and Countercatcher are here, that's crazy. One Zoroark here. Oh, Teammates is here as well. Oh, that sucks. Ball, Ultra Ball, okay. That pricing is not ideal. Especially since we're never going to see that Teammates. Because ideally, the turn after we Stinger GX, we want to play Peonia. That's the only supporter we need to play to win the game there. So let's say what we want to discard from the Battle Compressor. We have Rescue Stretcher in hand, but we also have Colress. So I think Colress is like not the worst here technically. So I do have some combo pieces here. But I do want to use my Rescue Stretcher. So I think what I'll definitely do is I'll discard Crobat V. Something I'll definitely do. I'll also definitely discard Naganadel-GX. What else will I discard? Probably another Stage 1 Pokemon. Not the Marowak, I think. Yeah, the Excadrill, sure. There you go. Shuffle my deck. Okay, deck is shuffled. We have our 2 cool Stage 1 comboers. Could have grabbed Persian with this actually, might not have been a bad shout. And we discarded Crobat V. Rescue Stretcher the Crobat V to our hands. I definitely want to play Pokemon Communications to put the Machoke back into my deck. And I think I want to grab Zacian V. I think that's probably correct. Yeah, Zacian V feels correct. Alright. All shuffled. Let's bench the Zacian V. And then bench the Crobat to trigger Dark Acid to draw 4 cards. Oh, I redrew the Machoke. I'm not happy with that. I guess I will bench the Arceus. And I think I'll just play Colress. My opponent has gone first, so let's say we draw 7 cards off this Colress. I think that's fairly reasonable. I think 7 is fairly reasonable off Colress. I didn't want to Dedenne there, because then I would delete my Technical Machine Crisis Punch. Which I don't want, of course. Okay, let's say we draw 7 off of this Colress. Let's say what we draw. Okay. This is a lot of combo pieces. I don't really like that. bench the Fez. I guess I'll attach the Forest Sealstone here. As you can see, the Forest Sealstone is kind of pointing up. It's because it's been used a lot. A lot. Okay. And I will use Intrepid Sword to draw 3 cards. Turn ends. Let's say Zorua perishes. What the fuck do I push? Don't know. I don't think I push another Zorua. I think I push and draw for turn. Let's think. Yeah, I don't have access to teammates, unfortunately. I'll definitely evolve here. I think benching Ditto is always correct here. I'm not entirely sure. It is my last bench spot, and I do want to bench the Lele. Let me think. What other supporters do I have in my deck? I have Brigitte in my deck, which is useless for now. I have N. Pokémon Ranger is useless here. This kind of sucks. I think N is probably like the correct thing to get here, but it doesn't really make me any progress. You know what I mean? I think I'll bench the Tapu Lele for the Wonder attack and go for the end play. Here. I don't think there's anything in my hand that I can or want to play. No. Not necessarily. Ad break! I hate ad breaks. They're so annoying. And draw 6 cards off of the end. Okay, that's a little bit better. Not ideal. I definitely want to quick ball away the Dusclops. I don't have the freaking Skyfield. It's so annoying. Definitely quick balling for another Zorua. Do I want to make the Naganadel-GX right now? Probably not. I don't think I want to make the Naganadel-GX right away. Let's do Pokémon Communications away to Jirachi. Do I make a Zoroark right now? Do I make the Zoroark-GX? I don't really think I have much discard fodder in hand. No, not really. Let's make this a Zoroark. Just in case. I mean, I don't know why I'm complaining about slow setup, quote unquote, because this is actually being set up fairly fast. So that's nice. We'll hold the Zoroark, of course. I think we'll hold everything for now. Yeah, let's use Intrepid. Well, I still have Flip the Script, so hold on. Hold your horses. Why do I keep redrawing the frickin' Jirachi? Now I can't Dedenne. I hate that. I hate that so much. Why did I redraw the frickin' Jirachi? Let's Intrepid Sword. Alright. Let's assume Crobat V gets knocked out here. Opponent goes to 3 prizes. What the heck do we push? Probably Lele. Draw cards for turn. We do have Ori. Kinda need to draw my Skyfield here, so let's flip the script. Floatstone is nice here. Let's dance a tribute. Somehow I have not found Skyfield. This is nuts. I guess Megaton Blower is not bad here, probably, in this scenario. This sucks, bro. This just sucks. Where's my Skyfield? Let's play via Seeker. And let's play Colress. Just shuffle my hand into my deck and draw like, what is it, 9? I think 9 or 10 is normal here. Let's say 9. Let's be pessimistic and say 9. Well, actually, I have 5 in play, not 8. So, yeah, let's say 7 again. Skyfield found! Oh my god. That is big. Ditto Prism Star is here. I think... Do I want to bench the Cubone? At this point, I don't think I want to. Oh, whoopsie. And I will hold the Lele for now. Why did I attach the floats into the Lele? I don't know. Let's do it on Vez. Let's int Rapid Sword, bomb, bomb, bomb. Now I find another. Okay. So my opponent takes a KO on Lele-GX, for example. We push Pheasant Skibbity and draw. Now you show up, Brigitte. Jeez Louise. I'm definitely gonna use Phantom Transformation to transform this into Naganadel. 100%. I guess Brigitte is like not terrible here. Brigitte can get me a couple of Zoruas and Jirachi. Yeah, Brigitte's actually not the worst here, because Brigitte gets me this. That's actually kind of nice, not gonna lie. Bench Zorua. Bench Zorua. Let's just overlay our Pokemon a little like this. Means we have one bench space open. Yeah. Attach the Ignition Energy to the Naganadel. Let's go for Flip the Script. I found Peonia and TM Crisis Punch. Those are the most important parts. Quick Ball, Persian, Sky Fields. Okay. I think I will. Do I want to quick ball away to Persian? Probably not. Not yet, at least. Right, let's retreat into the Naganadel-GX. And let's use Stinger GX to shuffle our prizes into our deck. Prize the top 3 cards of our deck. Boom, boom, boom. Our opponent now also being at 3 prizes. So, let's say our opponent knocks the Naganadel. They go to 1. I will push my Fez, of course, and draw for turn. And now I need to find my Zoroarks. But we can play Peonia, see if they are here. There was one here. So what do I not need here? Don't need Skyfield. I want to throw away the Jirachi. And I don't need the other Skyfield. That's my Peonia. We make a Zoroark. We can Ultra Ball away Ranger Machoke or another Zoroark. This is probably not necessary. This is a little overkill. I don't think there's any cards in deck that we need specifically right now. Forgot to put this one back. I wanted to go, like, I think you can see where this is going, but I kind of wanted to quick ball away the Persian to make, to allow us to search more cards. There's another here. Oh, but I can also evolve this and then use Catwalk to search my deck for 2 cards. Not that that matters, but like, say it matters and I'll grab Field Blower and Cherish Ball. Play Cherish Ball for the Zoroark-GX. Dude, this spins so hard. There's so little cards in my deck left. Play the Field Blower in case it's necessary. We can even go for a freaking Starbirth to search our deck for 2 more cards. Search our deck for Teammates, which we can play. Teammates can grab us, like... So hold on, so... The VSTAR power grabs us Teammates and double colors, and then Teammates can grab us like Zoroark-GX and Ignition. You can search so many cards with this deck. I just wanted to show that off. You can just search so much, and you can. And we even haven't used Serendipity EX yet. We haven't even used Oricorio-GX yet. Now we have our entire deck in our hands. Yeah, kind of crazy, isn't it? Anyway, all we need is kind of like to use the Zoroark to make an Excadrill and to attach the Ignition to Excadrill. To attach the Crisis Sponge to the Excadrill, retreat into the Excadrill, and then use 2 Crisis Sponges to, let's say, draw 2 prizes again. Whoa, Jirachi! Take another goddamn prize. That's crazy. This deck is broken. Is it broken or is it just solid? Because I'm treating these games like my opponent is KOing 1 Pokemon per turn, which is usually not really happening. But would I know how to emulate this? No, I would have to play this in real life to actually know how this would go. Right. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle everything. The sad part about this deck that I can't really showcase is you have a lot of options depending on what you're playing against. I don't really have the capacity to show this right now because we don't have an opponent, we have an imaginary opponent. And that's kind of the downside here of us having an imaginary opponent. Like, does this deck win against Regidrago? Probably not. Maybe if they brick, but probably not. But this deck does have like real outs towards actual meta decks that are not Iron Thorns. Actually, Iron Thorns is definitely a doable matchup, but it's just incredibly hard. Technically, the abilities that matter, the Phantom transformations, they are not blocked by Iron Thorns. But the things that are blocked are Trade from Zoroark-GX, Starburst from Arceus VSTAR, Intrepid Sword from the Zacian V, Dance of Tributes from Oricorio-GX, Flipped Script from Fezandipity-EX, the Crobat V and the Dedenne-GX, their abilities are also blocked. Like, it's so cursed. Persian-GX has no ability anymore as well, which is also kind of cursed. Let's just put 7 cards here for now. I still need to flip on who goes first and who goes second. So we go first in this game. I think you do want to go second with this list, from what I discovered. So do I want to start Arceus V or Zorua? I think I would love to start a one prizer, if I can help it. Open the active and draw for turn. We are going first, but we do have the Sky Field, which is really nice. Bench the Arceus V, and that's actually all that we can do. Pass the turn and hope our opponent doesn't KO active. If they don't, we draw another card for turn. We get the Zacian V, which is really nice, and we can get. Do I want to Brigitte here? I think I do want to Brigitte here. I think that I have to Brigitte. Alright, let's see. Our prizes are... Okay, Arceus VSTAR is priced. That sucks. That really sucks. But I had to bench the Arceus V for anti-donk purposes. Also, Zoroark-GX priced. And Ignition priced. PS Seeker, Megaton Blower, Machoke. This pricing could definitely be better. But it could also be worse. Alright. Brigitte. Yeah, Brigitte. What do I want Brigitte to grab? I think I do want to grab the Dedenne-GX here. And Oricorio-GX and a Zorua. I think I will grab these 3 basic Pokemon. Alright, shuffle it all up. Nice and dandy. Bench the Zorua, bench the Oricorio, and rip the Dedenne to discard Colress, Rescue Stretcher, Peonia, and Excadrill. Other than the Rescue Stretcher, I'm very happy with that specific Dedenne change. Let's draw 6 cards, actually not 3. Okay. Can evolve into Zoroark here. Is that smart to do? Probably fine. Or Sealstone is nice to attach here. And I guess I'll bench another Tapu Lele to trigger Wonder Tag. Search our deck for a supporter. That's a really good supporter. Probably better if we don't evolve this one, but I can't evolve that one actually. That was benched this turn. Let's see. What are other supporters? We have Ranger and Guzma. Ganger and Guzma. I would have loved to see like the Persian this turn. I think the best approach here is to grab the teammates. I think that's definitely the best approach. Shuffle everything up. And add the teammates to our hands. And I will use Intrepid Sword to draw 3 cards and end my. Zorua is likely getting knocked. That's think a given. What is gonna get pushed though? And I want to push my Dedenne-GX, not gonna lie. Draw for turn. Definitely benching the Ditto. Make a little bit more room for the potential other bench Pokemon. Definitely gonna evolve into Zoroark here. Kinda sucks that I have 2 Skyfield in my hand, because I would have loved to compressor them away. Nah. But I'll compressor right now. Definitely deleting the Persian and the Dusclops. Is there another piece that we want to discard? Yeah, the Naganadel. Those are like the most important one right now. There we go. Dude, the 1 copy of Compressor is carrying me so hard, it's not even funny. It's like not even funny. Why is the Oricorio-GX lighting up so much? There we go. Better. Okay. Battle Compressor ripped these 3. I still have Teammates, by the way. I think I do want to play the Teammates. Pokemon Communication feels pretty good here. What else do I want? Floatstone is also nice. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to show what I grab from Teammates, of course. Attach the Floatstone to the Arceus. Play the Communication to put Jirachi back. Get the Zorua. There we go. Bench the Zorua. There was a Zorua dead at the end of our last turn, so unfortunately no meddling with Persian-GX. But that's fine. I will end my turn by... Oh wait, I can still use Dance of Tribute. Oh, and I drew into the Fez. That's so big. And I can even quick ball away the Skyfield to grab another basic before I flip the Fez. So good. Let's grab another Zorua. This is why we use ability markers, because I always forget if I've used Fez or not. Same for Ori. I always forget. And then we flip the Fez. 1, 2, 3, another Communications. I will also thin out a GX Pokemon here, just so I can draw more hyper-specifically out of my Intrepid Swords. There we go. I eventually did it this turn, so I can't evolve now. It's Intrepid Swords. Redrawing the Jirachi, but at least I have another Pokemon Communication. Okay. Let the Dedenne-GX go down. Push Arceus. Draw for turn. Bench another Zorua, of course. I think I want to evolve this one into Zoroark-GX. I don't even have Peonia yet or anything. Wait. Yeah, I can prepare for the combo now. That's probably fine, actually. I can just VS Seeker for Teammates. And I will hold the teammates for now. I'll hold the teammates for now. I need 3 pieces. The pieces that I need are Peonia, Ignition, another... Oh wait, I need 4. I need Peonia, 2 Ignitions, and... You know what I mean. Peonia, the 2 Ignitions, and a Technical Machine Crisis Punch. Okay. Let's use Dance of the Ancients. Nice. Okay. So this helps us a lot, I think. Because we can use Phantom Transformation to make a Persian-GX. And Persian-GX will search 2 cards for us. Being these 2. Wait, Peonia is in discard already. I don't need Peonia. I need a VS Seeker. And then we can use... Well, I don't have to show the cards that I'm grabbing, but I can use Teammates to grab the other pieces. Really care if these get yeeted. Yeah. I benched Zorua this turn, by the way, so I can't evolve into Zoroark, by the way. Dude, this hand is like giga full. If I get Iono next turn, I'm cooked. Retreat into the Zoro. This is why we have the Persian-GX in the deck, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Use Phantom Transformation. Make a Naganadel. Attach Ignition and use Stinger. Wait, no. Not yet. Let's flip the script. Now let's use Stinger GX. Wait, I can still trade. The draw that this deck has is absolutely disgusting. It's so disgusting how many cards this deck can draw. It's nuts. Okay. Stinger GX. Rise my top 3 cards here. There we go. That gets discarded. What gets discarded? What gets KO'd? Probably the Persian, because that's hella annoying. Which means I will push my Arceus and draw cards for turn. Oh, nice. I will Starbirth. I'll Starbirth for these 2 cards. I will Dance of the Ancients to draw the other cards. Nice. Dude, my deck is in my hand at this point. Zoroark. Turn Zoroark into Excadrill. Attach Ignition and Crisis. Where's my VS Seeker? Here it is. VS Seeker for Peonia. I don't really care about these prizes. Like, this can come back. I don't really care, but this has to go here. Retreat. And all my cool stuff for the double Crisis Punch and the game. That was like turn 4, I think. That was crazy. Yeah, because on turn 3 I did the Stinger GX. That's so nuts. You can do this. So you can probably do this earlier than that turn as well, but you probably just want to draw most of your deck. Which, if you do it on a turn earlier, you probably haven't drawn most of your deck yet. But this deck has so much targeted search that it makes it very unlikely for you to not find a combo eventually within the first 4 or 5 turns. So you basically just have to survive for that amount of time with a very specific board setup, and then you're good to go. But it's probably not really possible to live for 4 to 5 turns if you don't pop a Guzma or a Counter Catcher early game. That's something I do want to add here. Counter Catcher, of course, becomes online as soon as your opponent takes a prize. But you can play Guzma whenever, and it might be better in certain situations than a draw supporter. Especially since your Pokemon draw so many cards already as it is. Like, all of the Pokemon in this list are so absolutely bombastically absurd. It's so funny. It's so funny. Alright. What time does the ad start? I can't see because my thing is in the way. The manage goals thing is in the way. I can refresh this page probably. I think that's fine. Let's see. I honestly don't think I want to go for too long. Especially since it's been a very long day. But I could probably do like 2 more games. Does that make sense? Also, we are still streaming for Movember as usual. But please do consider donating. I will pin the message actually. Right now. There you go. Message pinned. Just like your mom against the wall. Haha, got him! Okay, let's throw dice to see who goes first, who goes second. Okay, I go second this game. That's preferable, honestly. Let's draw 7 cards. What is this opener? This is Zorua Double Zoroark Cherish Ball. Okay. That's crazy. Anyway. Bam. Bam. I think I do want to put the fest down just in case for donk purposes. But let's flip it over and start the game. Draw for turn. There's Peonia on cue. This kind of sucks though. Having to pop a Cherish Ball here just to see cards out of my deck. I have to Cherish Ball for Tapu Lele here, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Arceus VSTAR is once again priced, but now I do know. Teammates is also priced. And there's a Skyfield priced. Awesome. Awesome sauce! Anyway. This is why Cherish Ball is so good in this deck. Because you can grab either Zoroark-GX or Persian-GX or Naganadel-GX or Lele-GX, which in turn can grab a supporter. So let's grab the Lele-GX and use Wonder Tag. What my hand look like? Yeah, my hand's dog shit. I need to end. I need end here, is basically what I'm trying to say. Where is N? Colress can also work, but it probably draws me too little. There's N. I could also try Brigette. Brigitte's actually probably better. Brigette. Is it better? It forces me to end next turn. I don't really like. I think I'll grab N anyway. Anyway, got him! Sorry. Play the N. My hand sucks. Right, shuffle, shuffle. And draw 6. Okay, nice, another Zorua. And Oricorio is here as well, huge. Naganadel Ignition is here, VS Seeker is nice. Okay, this is a decent setup. I'll definitely be happy passing like this. Assume my opponent KOs a Zorua. In that case, I'll push the Tapu Lele and draw for turn. Definitely rip that counter catcher, because fuck you. And we'll definitely VS Seeker 4N. And play N. Shuffle our hand to our deck again and draw 6 cards, because the rest of the cards in our deck, in our hand, were kind of mid. I could have kept the Naganadel in my hand and then like dig for like a Cherish Ball or not Cherish Ball, Quick Ball or an Ultra Ball, but felt a little too far-fetched. I'd rather have a hand of 12 cards than one of 6 that I can do something cool with. You know what I mean? So draw 6 from the N. I do have Floatstone, which is awesome. Put that on the Ori. Bench another Zorua. Yes, please. I don't think there's any Pokemon in my discard. Well, there's a Zorua in my discard. Okay. Good Rescue Stretcher for Zorua. Definitely possible. But let's use Fez first. Ooh, Dedenne. Ooh, Skyfield. Let's use Dance of Tribute. There's my other Rescue Stretcher. Okay, so I don't really feel happy using Dedenne here, but what I can do is Ultra Ball away Dedenne and Naganadel. Grab like Zacian V. Zacian V is decent here. Could have also grabbed the Zoroark, but I have one in hand. So that's nice. Whoops, that's a card that was not in my hand, for sure. There we go. Naganadel and discard, which is really nice. Bench the Zacian. Evolve into Zoroark. And then use Intrepid Sword to draw 3. Ooh. Okay. Pass our turn. Tapu Lele, you should probably get knocked out. We go to 3. Ori. Draw for turn. Bench another Zorua. Evolve this one to Zoroark-GX. I really want to find Persian this turn if possible. This Zorua was benched this turn. I do need to hold out one more turn, but that's okay. I'd love to find Persian this turn, but I'm trying to think what's the best way to go about this. Do I call this now? I think I call this now. I think I have to call this now. I know I'm yeeting away multiple combo cards, but I have to. I have to do this. So we draw at least 5. Let's say we draw 8 in this scenario. Okay, we find another Zoroark, 2 other Zoroarks. Damn. Machamp, or Machoke, sorry. Cubone is nice, I guess. We can bench that, we have the space for it. Megaton Blower's epic. Didn't really find anything else though. Sucks balls. Fez. Oh! Battle Compressor, my beloved. Let's go. Discard this, and this. And this. Yeah, Arceus V is like kinda useless right now because V-Star's in. Today we answered the age-old question, if Beethoven was deaf, how could he see his piano? Nice, good one. That got me good. Jeez. Oh my god. Okay, these two also go to discards. Pokémon Communication to put a Zoroark back. Wrap Marowak, I think. No, we want to grab Dusclops. Yeah. And then we use trade to discard the Dusclops and draw 2. Nice, there's Ignition. We have another Pokemon Communication. Don't need Machoke at this point. We can grab Marowak here, but I like Ditto more. The Machoke needs to be shuffled in as well. Yeah, alright. You know, that also begs the question, another age-old question. If Stevie Wonder was blind, how could he hear what he was playing? Like think about that for a second. If Stevie Wonder was blind, how could he hear what he was playing on the piano? I don't understand. It's a miracle. I did play a supporter already. What I think I will do is I'll rip this to get Persian-GX in play. Is this worth it? I don't know. But this allows me to Rescue Stretcher this Zorua to my hands, which feels really good. And the Persian allows me to search more cards from my deck that I want for the combo. Next turn, being this Jirachi and the Peonia. These are like the two most important parts. Oh shit! Wait, I'm doing this wrong order. Yeah, I thought I only needed 2 pieces. True! Sorry. Okay, hold on. The order you should actually do this as, because we need 3 pieces. We need Jirachi, Peonia, and Technical Machine, Crisis Punch. The way we do it first is we first draw with Dance of Tributes. Hope we draw 1 of the 3. No, we don't. That sucks. Like, if you draw into 1 of the 3, then that allows you to search the other 2 out like this. I would say Jirachi and Peonia are the safest in our hands. Still haven't recorded this the last voiceover for the video. You've edited bits of it, but not at all. Do you want me to make a voiceover? Just for the deck overview. Alright, yeah, we found the 2 pieces here. We retreat into Zorua, I think. Well, Zorua is not a GX Pokemon, so I think we do just retreat into Zoroark-GX, actually. We don't have DCE in hand, but it doesn't matter because I want an Intrepid Sword anyway. Which I already removed all my things, but okay. So let's imagine that Zoroark gets KO'd. We push Ori, draw. And we evolve this one into Zoroark, and this one into Zoroark. I do have another Rescue Stretcher, which is really funny. So I can Rescue Stretcher this one into deck, and this one into deck. And not that one. This one, whoops. Is this my Arceus? It is, okay. Get those into deck. See if we can redraw them. This is like kind of like almost an ideal board state, if you think about it. Evolve into Marowak. We can evolve this one into Machoke. Safety purposes. Use Pheasantipity. Bench the Arceus V, that's the one I wanted mostly. We can quick ball away the DCE for the Zorua. And then we can catwalk this one to our hands. This one. The rest doesn't really matter. Megalopony switch every turn to Oko. Oh shit! Voiceover for shitty gameplay. I don't think it's shitty gameplay. You're doing Mega Evolution. Megalopony in Expanded, yeah. Okay. Then Dance of Tribute. Attach the Steel Stone here, of course. Retreat into Zoro. Use Phantom Transformations to go into Nag. Attach Ignition. And go for Stinger GX. Put my opponent at 3 and myself at 3. One of your good old friends is moving close to you, and guess what? He plays Expanded. Let's go! Hype! You'll love to see it. Love to see it. There we go. Ignition gets discarded at the end of turn. Maybe I did overcommit by playing this Machoke. I will take that one back. Because if they KO Zoroark, then I am in a little bit of trouble, of course. So let's assume they do. Assume they KO the Zoroark. They go down to 2. What do I do then? A really good question. Draw for turn. I'll definitely make this one Zoroark. But I'll need Dusclops plus Excadrill. Make this one Zorua. Actually, no. I need... how do we do this? I don't think that's possible from here. Sure, actually. We should definitely Peonia the Jirachi in here. Yeah, that's for certain. Wait, why is my bench full again? Oh, because I benched Zorua. That's not smart. Yeah. You make this an Arceus V-STAR. Yeah, how do you get around that? I don't think you do. I don't think I have the facilities for that. Because, like, I can Starbirth to check my deck. But other than stalling a turn, you don't really get around to that. But, so I did get a little greedy there, certain. Ideally, you want to have like 3 Zoroark outs on your board at that point, and not 2. So I was kind of greeting the Marowak. Definitely shouldn't. You know how we were talking about expanded stables to pick up IRL? You need to get 4 Skyfields. Yeah, you do. 4 Skyfield is kind of a must. And I'm saying kind of, I mean, it truly is a must. I feel like Skyfield's like a good play in most decks. Well, I would say not most decks, but like most decks that are not the top of formats. So I would say the 4 best decks in format don't really need Skyfields. I would say the best deck that wants to play Skyfield is probably Evocon, which is like a top 5 deck at the moment, in my opinion. Much better than shitty Area Zero. Oh yeah, 100%. Area Zero is so bad compared to Skyfield, it's not even funny. God, I love Route 1 Black Whites. Alright, I think I'll do one more, like I said, and then look for someone to raid. I will take another sip of water because I'm a thirsty boy. Seven. Flip. 4 starts. That's even, so we do go first. Unfortunately. What does Evocon mean and what is it? Is it Vileplume and shit? Yeah. Evocon is Bunnelby Vileplume. That's the name they use in Japan for that deck. It's Bunnelby Vileplume. Like the double TM Evo stuff. This is a mulligan. This is a mulligan. But you're practically right on dots. Evocon is, like, if we call something Evocon slacking, it's Bunnelby Vileplume slacking. Is what we would call it in English. But Evocon kind of shows you that, like, your win condition is Technical Machine Evolution with Bunnelby twice to get a Vileplume in play. That's what Evocon means. That's what they mean with Evocon. It's like Evolution WinCon. TM Evolution is your WinCon. This is not a mulligan because we have Ditto Prism Star. God, I hate my proxy sometimes. I need to get a real Ditto Prism Star, man. I use that thing so much also for Poké Commander. I just need to get a real one at this point. Right. Draw for turn. I said I was going first, right? That Zorua is really nice to find here. I'm not gonna jam the Skyfield yet. I need to pass here. Let's say it's a slow turn 1. Sure. Skyfield. Zoroark-GX. I think I'd rather want that in active, actually. Yeah. I think I like this more as a Zoroark-GX for now. Brigitte. I also need 1 or 2 Silent Lab for Lugias. True. For Lugia, and who knows, I might build Ultra Necrozma Garbodor. Oh, I love Ultra Necrozma Garbodor. Oh my god. I love that so much. This surprising is fine. Crobat V is a little annoying. Ignition is kind of annoying. The Rescue is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Alright, so what is Brigitte gonna grab me? Let me think. Definitely not Dedenne, I can tell you that. Definitely Zorua, that's for sure. Zacian is also really nice. Another Zorua? For Arceus V? Bez maybe? Oricorio? We're definitely grabbing Zacian V Zorua 2. I think I'll grab Oricorio-GX. 8.15 for a real Ditto Prism, UK, the fuck? Yeah, that sounds about accurate to what it is here. It's right here, it's like probably 6 or 7 euros. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that until the words came out of my mouth. I am so incredibly sorry. Alright, I'll use Trait to discard N, draw 2. Oh, I got Lele. It's actually not bad. Lele can fin out Peonia. Just kind of big, actually. Netherlands, it's 451 GBP, but it might be slightly cheaper if you only buy from people in Germany. I mean, yes, you're right, but the Delivery costs are kind of crazy here. So it's 451 GBP without delivery costs, which is like not fun. Okay, that was a fine Intrepid Sword. Let's say my opponent knocks the Zoroark-GX, which means my Ditto Prism Star goes woo here. Go to 4. I don't have Floatstone yet, so I'll push Lele, I think. Draw for turn. Ooh, nice. Epic. Zorua. Let's attach the 4 Sealstone here. Delivery is expensive here too. Okay, so it's not just me. I could stretcher the Zoroark-GX here. I think that's fine, actually. Yeah, let's stretcher Zoroark-GX and evolve that here. And then I'll Colress. Fortunately, I do have to yeet Peonia away again, but oh well. 295 GBP for first class, 111 GBP per second. Yeah, it's like €2.10 for like basic delivery here, just nuts. If I want to buy a 5-cent card, I have to spend €2.15 or something like that. It's crazy. Colress grabs me at least 5. Let's say it grabs me 8. I think that's relevant. Approximately what I'm getting. There's a Fez. That's really nice. By the way, keep redrawing the Jirachi Prism. So annoying. Let's think. Quick Ball away my Sky Field. Or I did already Supporter. So what do I want here? I think Arceus V. Probably the best setup for me here. Alright. Shuffle everything. Okay. And then we will use Dance Tribute. This Zoroark was benched this turn, so I can't do that. Fine, I can Quick Ball away this Zoroark. More thinning. Let's grab Tapu Lele, so I can trade Tapu Lele. Actually, let's not trade yet. I want to do that one first. Oh, Persian, that's huge. That's the one I want to trade. That's what I was waiting for. I did already play Supporter for turn. But let's use Phantom Transformation to transform this one into the Persian. That's what I was looking for. Zoroark-GX is the one that died last turn, so we can make this. Dude, there's so many cards in my hand already. It's turn 2 or turn 3. It is like, this is not okay. This is not okay. Let's use Catwalk. You can Ogo Mega Venusaur with Regidrago Venusaur when Mega Dragonite comes out with Max Belt. Oh yeah. What Regidrago runs Max Belt? Of things. I think I have. Do I have Ultra Ball in hand? I don't. What 2 cards do I want? Do I just build up for the combo? Grab these 2? Oh no, I grab this for sure. And then this, yeah. These 2 feel really good to grab. Then we play the Compressor. Discard Excadrill, maybe Peonia. Naganadel. No. I have Lele in hand, so I can if I want to. Yeah, and if I want to grab Peonia, so we're discarding these 3. Okay, that's really good. Nice. So let me just check how many recoveries I'm down. I'm down 1 Rescue Stretcher and 1 Zoroark, so I have 2 Zoroark left. Something I should keep track of. Yeah, 1 Zoroark in hands, and then I'll use Intrepid Sword to draw 3 my turn. Okay. Assume Lele gets knocked out, so my opponent goes to 2 prizes. Don't have a float zone, so I'll push the Zorua and draw. Evolve into Zoroark, use Phantom Transformation for Nag. Let's also go for a Zoroark on this one to bank it. Arceus V-STAR makes sense here. Let's counter Catcher. We can Catwalk. I don't think I want to Catwalk yet. How many pieces do I need? Wait, I have Lele that can grab me Peonia, and I need 2 Ignitions. That's about it. But I can Teammates for 2 of the pieces. Then, yeah. I can Teammates for 2 of the pieces. Say Ignition and Peonia. I can Catwalk for other Ignition. And like... no, I'll grab Goose. Or Ignition and Goose. Yeah. I think I can draw my whole deck before doing the combo, which is kind of nutty. God, I love this song so much. It's such a banger. It's not even close to... You apologize, you GM too much about Pokemon stuff during the day when you're working. No, it's okay, don't worry. Just don't expect like a fast response out of me and then you're... Like, as long as you don't expect a fast response out of me, you're fine, bro. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Trade, Cherish Ball, or 1, 2. Yeah, this is my whole deck in my hands right here. Naganadel, attachment, Stinger GX. Put both at 3. So effectively, I just said, yo, 3 of my prizes go to my deck right now. That's basically what I said here. This is why I was fine emptying my whole deck, because I'm Stinger GXing. So I'm putting cards back into my deck. Okay, where's my last Zorua? Did I not bench that? Hold on. There's 1 here. 1 here. And 2, oh, and 2 in discard. Yeah, gotcha. Let's, if Nag goes down, or like, let's say Persian goes down, we go to Zoroark. Zoroark? What? Oh? Draw for turn. Dance of Tributes for the other 2. Rip this to make it an Excadrill. Attach Ignition Energy. Attach Technical Machine Crisis Punch. Play Peonia to put 3 cards into my hands. Put this back, and put this back. And then rip all our cool attacks. Hey Luke, it's a Jirachi, I take my other 2. hell to the yeah. That's how this deck works. No worries, I don't expect quick reply. I just feel bad if you have your phone off silent. No, it's okay. I do not have my phone off silent. As in, like, I have my phone on silent, is what I mean. I have my phone on silent during work, and the only time I do notice messages from you during work is if I am looking at my phone. Which, at that point, it's fine to look at messages. The reason I'm doing the looking on the phone is because of messages. They're being there potentially. Not just from you, of course, also from, like, family members and stuff. So don't worry. At least tomorrow's a little bit shorter day. I just got the morning. So I work in the hospital. Thinking school teacher. Now I'm still doing like a half studying, half working course for the radiology department. So for lots of like certain radiology tests, oh, ads. I'll wait. Don't worry. I'll wait. I can fill 2 minutes of void before telling you it's okay. God, I love this song so much. I'll take another sip of water. God, I love water. It's so good. Where is my Naganadel? There it is. God, such a vibe, Rustboro City. I love it. This is also Mauville City, right? Or am I mistaken? Or is it like Verdanturf? It's definitely Rustboro, I know that. I know it's 100% Rustboro, but don't know what the other one is. I will move back to my PC in the meantime. You're back. How much did you hear? How much did you hear? What I'm wondering about my explanation. So I know where to start off again. You heard nothing. Okay, great. So I'm currently doing a half working, half studying course on the radiology department in a hospital, which means I'm studying for like lots of, let's say, radiology routines, let's say x-rays, CT scans, MRI scans. I'm being I'm following courses on that. So technically I'm still studying, but yes, I do be working in cancer. That's not, of course, the only thing I'm doing, but it's not that I'm like curing the people, but I'm like taking the tests to see what they have so that other people can go cure them. It's you could see it like that. So like if you, for example, if you've broken your leg and you're going for an x-ray, you'll see me take the x-ray off you, and then I'll make the x-ray off you, but then other people will like judge, like, okay, well this is what's fucked up about the x-ray, so we'll do this, this, and this. So why 6-7 a lot? Because exactly about that part. Because this first part, I only just started this course, I will say. It's like half a year ago that I started this, and we start at X-ray. Like, X-ray is the first discipline that we're taught. And most of the demographic that goes to X-rays is either very old people or very young people. Because they have like the, let's say, the most fragile bones or bone connections. So that's why. And also I have several cousins that are like about 12 years old, so this is why I know about, this is why 6-7 is engraved into my brain, because I hear it at least 5 times a day. That's why. So technically I'm teaching children to like not be stupid with with their body parts, I guess. So technically it is, well, not really, of course, but that's generally the gist of it. Anyway, that was the Zoroark Naganadel, the Zoro box list. They call it Zoro box. I'll just call it the Zoroark Naganadel combo deck, or the Naganadel combo deck. That was the list. If you want to see the list, it's in the YouTube description of the stream. For now, I'll be back I'm pretty sure next Saturday, with more Pokémon. If you want to join the Pokémon server, and we'll see what we can do for you. We can most likely fit you into this week's game if you are here pretty fast. I mean, you can play other Pokémon games with people on the server, of course, but if you want to be on the live streamed game, that is what I meant. You will have to let us know pretty fast, I would say. I would say like by Thursday. For now, that's gonna be it from me, at least. Let's see if we can find someone to raid. I'll turn off the music so I can actually listen in on whatever people are up to. On the YouTube end of the stream, of course, raids don't exist on YouTube, so we'll see. That stream will just end, of course. Let's see. I mean, we're still doing Movember, so I do want to raid into a Movemberer. Can I raid Centane? I don't think I can raid Centane. Yeah, be seeing, yeah. Oh, we can raid Centane. Cool. Nice, let's go. I haven't been there in a real long time. Usually she has raids turned off. Feel free to copy any of the 2 raid messages for when we are doing the raid if you want to join in on the raid. So, and I'll be taking my leave. See you later. Bye guys.